should have
pull
peed.
up the.
I just realized.
I did.
I usually do that too, but not today.
Oopsie.
Welcome to Thirsty Thursday, July
Good evening.
15th.
Awesome.
Summer of Screams.
Summer of
Point
Screams.
2.
Ah!
I think 2 or 3.
The
Summer of Screams. Did we do it twice or thrice?
This is our second one.
Part 2.
I think because we did that one last week, right?
Katie,
Yeah.
Katie didn't do one.
Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
part 2.
Part 2.
Yep.
Okay. We're on. We're good.
Oh, can you comment so we can see their comments?
Oh, this would be nice if we could
You
get some
would
comments
think,
today.
we would be so good at this because we've been doing it over a year.
Over a year now.
They switch
Over
everything
52
I know, but they keep
so many
updating
times.
stuff. They keep updating
There's
stuff.
52 weeks in a year. Over 52 times we've done this,
Well, no, but sometimes it's Katie.
but it's been over a year.
That's true.
April was a
All
year.
right.
Yeah. So, welcome to Thirsty Thursday. We are in the San Antonio store today.
I hope you got your glasses ready.
We are drinking.
Cerveza.
I don't know what that is.
Right behind you.
Corona.
Corona.
Premier.
Premier.
The premiere.
Low calorie.
Premier.
I'm drinking water.
So,
Oh, getting ready for the summer bod.
Here we go. Cheers. Cheers, guys. Thanks for joining us.
I need a lime. So my name's Charli,
Jackie.
and Michelle is
I'm here.
here.
Sorry, I'm looking at comments.
Already
So-
looking at comments. Who Eileen.
We've got
How do we
hellos,
start?
Denise, Mary Jo, Linda, Angelique.
I'm waiting
Miss
for the
Carol
notification
Ann.
that we're live.
I know, I didn't get one either.
So I guess I'll search the page.
That's what
Okay.
I have to.
Okay, so what do we do? Fun fact. Fun fact about me. I love coffee. I love coffee. I'm an avid coffee drinker. I get beans sent to me every month all around the
Do you
world.
really?
And I bought a very expensive espresso machine just because. I couldn't even wait for a holiday.
Cool.
Jackie?
I have to do a fun fact.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go now. I'll go last.
Okay.
Fun fact, I too love coffee. But let's see. I forgot we were doing fun facts. I have no fun facts. Oh, my daughter woke up at 3 this morning and thought it was time to play. Is that a fun fact?
Yes.
I'm a little
How
tired
much fun
today.
was that?
I'm like, no, we're going back to sleep. Let her.
She's like, I'm ready.
Okay, fun fact. I used to rock climb.
Oh.
Like real rock climbing, not the fake stuff where they do inside.
Outside.
Outside.
Without a harness.
Yeah.
Bouldering? Is that what it's
No,
called?
no. On, like several pitches where hundreds of feet up in the air.
That's crazy.
I bet you have strong fingers.
I did, yeah.
My goodness.
And you had to keep your fingernails cut really short so you could hold on to
Yeah,
the
and
little
it didn't
things.
bend back.
Yeah, but I used to do that.
Dodie and Bonnie jumped on,
Oh,
and
hi, Dodie.
Miss Jo wants to know if you like flavored coffees.
I got gifted. I like medium roast, because it's an espresso machine, and I like the different roasts that might be roasted with something. Except it can't get too crazy because I got beans that were roasted with like red wine, vanilla custard, and something, and it was too much.
Yeah.
It was like too sweet. I think there was a berry in it, and it made it too sweet. Like I don't put sugar in my coffee.
Yeah.
So I like the taste of that bitterness.
Gotcha, yeah.
But yeah, that berry flavored was too sweet. So it not really.
Eileen said she used to mountain climb.
I
Wow.
was rock climbing, but
Yep.
I've also done backpacking trips up in the Sierras
That's neat.
for several days. Did some ice.
Ooh,
Yeah.
scary. Slippery. Yeah, so that's a fun fact. And now to the announcements.
I printed them out I'm getting over 40 eyes, guys. I think it's not time to go get my eyes checked.
Big font.
So this week in Katie is $5 quilt.
Awesome. That's always so much fun.
That's going on probably right now because it's at 5 and 6.
That's right.
Oh, well.
So, but if you missed it tonight, you can still have your chance to go on Friday and Saturday. Fridays in-person classes are 9:30, 10:30, and 11:30. Saturdays classes are 9:30 and 10:30. And then if you're just doing a drive-by to pick up your blocks, it's 9 to noon. So be sure to come in at that time if you want your block for free. If you are going in person, please bring your show and towels. And please let Deborah know your name. I felt really bad that week I was posting. I'm like, we don't know who you are.
I know.
Please comment so we know.
Watching.
I know.
Hey, we've seen all the comments this week. I'm
I
so
know.
excited.
This is nice.
I see
Nice
Ruth
change. Nice
and
change.
Eileen and
I know. Miss Fancy and Ron got.
Miss Fancy Atkinson.
I know. I love seeing where everybody's watching from too. That's kind of cool.
Rock. Yeah, that's fun.
Okay, and then so OESD virtual event.
I'm so excited for tomorrow. It's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow at 3:00. It's virtual.
What are
you
they
can
going
watch
over?
it in your jammies or on your patio drinking a beverage. They are going over how to embroider greeting cards.
I think those are so cute.
And guess what we
I
got?
really want to do
this
that.
week, greeting cards, blanks. So if
Really?
yes,
That's gonna be so much fun.
I know. I'm excited. So it's tomorrow at 3. If you need to still, you have to sign up. So they send you the link.
It's free.
It's free. So
Yeah, if it's free,
the
why not
link
do
is
it?
on Facebook. The link is in our newsletter, and it is on our website calendar.
So can
there's
I
3
take
places.
a really long lunch break tomorrow?
You have a full 24 hours to watch it.
Okay.
You don't have to watch it at 3.
Okay.
If you get the link, you have a full 24 hours to watch and get the 25% discount that OESD offers.
Is
Wow.
awesome.
Pretty cool. Right?
Awesome sauce.
Yeah, very, very awesome. I like that.
And then also in Katy is What's New at BU. This Saturday at 1, you do need to sign up because the space is limited. So Lori's going to go over all the great new products that we learned about.
There is so much.
This last week.
So much.
Great products. I was living in PowerPoints the whole time, so I didn't get to watch my classes yet. So I'm hoping to do that this weekend.
Good.
So, and then Summer Screen continues. Deborah and Katie has decided to do a mini quilt.
Oh, I saw that post on Facebook
Isn't
last
that
night.
cute?
It's so cute.
And with the class, it's $30. Deborah's teaching it, and you get all the fabric you need for the top.
In the $30?
In the $30.
No way.
Yes, it's a mini quilt.
How many is mini?
I don't know. The mini quilts that they did,
Yeah.
it's one of those.
Okay.
But the fabric kit's
Nice.
included
Yes.
in the class.
Yes.
Crazy. I want to take it.
The
I'll drive
pattern
down.
is separate, but you
So
know.
you drive?
What day is it?
And then turn around and come back?
It's a Wednesday.
Aw.
It's a Wednesday,
I
July
work.
28th. And I think that's it for announcements, and then just how Thirsty Thursday works, because we do have lots of new people. We are talking about a certain project, and the things that we talk about are discounted 15% on our website and a specific page. And I've shared that link, and I'll share it again. And when you go to check out, you use the coupon code TTTREAT.
TT treat
Yes.
today? Say that fast 5 times.
I can't. So we'll go over our projects, and then
We always give tips too.
It's nice because we actually, I almost said we always make the projects first, but we
Kind
should
of.
attempt to.
I
So
didn't this
we
week.
usually can hit any hiccups before you guys make it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when it's your turn, you can be like, "Oh yeah, Jackie said this," because I'm always like, "Well, I was so busy this week."
You were, but what you did was so cute. So let's share what we're
These are
doing this
cute.
week.
Announcements done?
I think so.
Awesome.
Yeah. Should we show the pattern?
Yeah, show the pattern.
And I'll post the link.
pattern is
TT treat.
by the quilt factory, and it is called Tricks and Treats. And it is made perfectly for Thirsty Thursday when we have all 4 people that we sometimes have. Because there's 4 projects in one. 4.
I love it.
It's a runner, a wall hanging, a pillow, and towel pattern.
Very cute.
Who's going first?
Do you want me to? Because I bare minimum, guys.
Okay,
Go
Bare minimum.
Okay, so which one did you do?
I really honestly wanted to do this guy because I thought he was the cutest.
I love him.
But I knew there's no way. So I did a pumpkin in this.
I finishes that.
I don't know. They're kind of smaller.
I don't know. I
The
thought
wall,
mine was big.
the wall hanging is 16
20.
by 20.
Oh, that's
Hmm.
not
Yeah.
bad at all.
And so the bench pillow finishes at 16 by 38. And
Okay.
so what I did is I just took a fat quarter and
16 by 38, you can even make that into a table runner if you
Yeah.
want.
Yeah,
That's
you
like a
could.
table runner
Yeah.
size.
so let me show. I left mine. I just grabbed a fat quarter to do mine on, so that way if I wanted to do all 3, I could.
have room.
I'd have room, and I could sew either 2 other backgrounds, or I could do the same, or I could
Mhm.
flip them like you
Yeah.
did, and you're
Yeah.
So you have to
depending
see both
on what I
sides.
do.
Mhm.
So.
I always liked my flippy.
So there's my little guy. I wanted to do it sewing themed. I was thinking, wouldn't it be fun to do a little mini for my sewing space? I'd no longer have a room to hang up on the wall. So
Isn't that cute?
the tools I used, I would like to go over the tools because tools are important when
I
it
think
comes
so
to
too.
sewing.
Yes.
But you have to have the right things, right?
Are you looking for the scissors?
My scissors. I'm gonna preach these scissors until every single person has these. They are the micro serrated. They're perfect
my
for
goodness.
cutting for applique.
They are. They really are good.
I use them for everything. I don't know how I have not lost this thing yet because I set it down and I set it down in all the places in my sewing space, but then somehow it magically appears. And then I also, the other tool I want to talk about is the Seam 2 Lite.
Why don't you tell them how to use that?
I am. So typically what we do is we take our pattern, I hang it in a window because I don't have a light box yet. And then you either hang it wrong side away from you if the pattern isn't reversed, or towards you if the pattern is reversed. The pattern will tell you. I didn't have the whole pattern with me, so I had no idea, so I guessed that it was not already reversed, and according to the picture, which I didn't have, I was wrong.
Oh, they were reversed?
They're reversed. They're reversed. Yeah.
That would have been great to know. I did not have the whole pattern with me.
I think the quilt
Does it matter though?
world should
All
all
do this?
get on one page.
I think
They
it
should
says-
all
I
do
think
it.
I thought it
or
said that
not
it was
do it.
reversed.
Not on my pages.
Well,
Okay.
like some will say it's reversed, some will say it's not reversed.
Like,
but
or
I
at
think
least
they
on
should
the actual
just-
pieces.
Everyone just do it one way. Just do it one way.
I only have my certain copies.
Okay.
So,
Miss Donna says his nose looks 3D.
good.
That was
That was the
That was
point.
your, that was
The
your plan?
two colorways.
So, and I'm gonna tell you. Okay, so the
Can I?
Seam 2, right, guys? Like, this is perfect. It kind of makes this somewhat like a,
Felt board.
yeah, I was gonna say Mr. Potato Head, but I originally had
I was trying to make a hard surface.
that
Okay.
and this, and I hated it, right? It didn't work.
Yeah.
So the cool thing is, right,
Peel it off.
I haven't said anything yet, and then I was like, oh, because I liked his mouth with the zippers, why don't I do
A pin
the
cushion.
pin cushion as an eye?
That is perfect.
That's so cute.
I like
And
that.
I'm still not happy with the nose. I think I might do black. I don't know, Miss Donna, do you like it? And then I cut out a button.
Actually, if you did do black, it would pop
It would
the
pop
yellow
it.
more.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
contrast.
So but all my scraps, which are buried in the garage somewhere, because I no longer have a sewing room, I'll have to go.
You got a baby room.
I
You
know,
don't
I
have
got
a sewing
some.
room anymore.
So you know how we were just talking about you hang this up in the window of your light box and you trace it out and then you put it on here, you trace it on this side, put it on here, put it on the fabric, cut it out. Well, when you do shapes like, oh, my pin cushion, I just put the
So which
paper.
side do you trace it on? Do you trace it on the side with the yellow?
Yeah,
The grid.
Okay, on the grid side.
on the grid side. So, but I don't need to trace this. I know I want the shape. So I just slammed some seam down on the back side to make sure I had enough to get what I wanted.
I love doing that.
And then I did set this because I didn't want it to come off as I was working, and then I just cut out the pieces that I wanted. So you don't always have to trace. You can look at your fabrics that you have. I know we all are collectors.
You know what fabrics are really good for that? Allison glass, because they always have like the little stuff.
Fun things.
Like I will more often than not get Allison glass and just slam a piece of seam, and then she just has things hidden that you can like cut out.
And that's what I used. I used her fabric as the pumpkin. So there's little like tentacles and things.
And like if there's like tentacles, but then you could like do a flower. There's flowers in there, or
Yeah.
like she just hide shaped. Like there's a little bug, there's a little face.
Yeah, her fabrics are great. But
They really are.
the K flowers are really good.
Yeah,
So
K
there's
too.
always really.
Same with Tula Pink.
I think when you start kind of playing with applique and not wanting to necessarily trace things off, you look at your fabrics in a whole new way. You
Yeah,
can look
I
and
love it.
see.
The little
Like,
bits
And
you
a lot
take
of
out of
times
it.
when I'm doing stuff with appliques, I'm looking for color. So it may not be the shape, but I'm looking for the colors.
Oh,
So that's kind
true.
of interesting too. And it makes you look at things totally differently.
So that's all I have.
Okay.
I love the pumpkin. It's so cute.
Alrighty.
Coming along.
You want me to go next?
Hey, Mac.
Okay.
I can go next. Mine's smaller than yours.
Alrighty. Did you get it?
Okay. So I did the little spider, the tea towel, and I did a tea towel because I've always wanted a tea towel, but I don't know how to embroider. And I don't know why I didn't think of this before, but you can applique on a
Yes,
tea
you
towel.
can.
Like, this is my, newness showing. I don't know how accepted this is in the real world and everyone knows it. But I was like,
I would have never thought.
applique on
I
a
know.
towel. Look at, I did a spider.
And it turned out so cute.
And so, this way, backwards. Okay. And so, I don't know if you guys can see.
He is
Well,
so
I'll
cute.
show you this side because my extra fabric, I put a pocket on my tea towel. But this fabric from Art Gallery is so adorable. And it has little spider webs with spiders. And I don't know if you guys can
spiders.
see. They're
not creepy.
hairy. They're hairy with like silver. If you can see, I don't know how good it is. But we have this fabric.
It looks good.
We have this fabric that mimics it. So I chose to not use the same fabric for the legs. I chose to use the metallic that we had that was left over from.
Yeah, so that's got little silver metallic fur on it.
Yeah, so it's the little
Isn't that cute?
fur. So I thought it matched even though it wasn't the same line. This metallic was
It
from
turned out great.
the dragonfly.
Yeah, the dragonfly.
Mhm.
That was called Shimmery Diamonds. And look, you would have never known.
It's
Now
perfect.
that's all I'm gonna see though are
I
are
know,
spider
you
legs.
can see
Spider
little
legs.
spiders. And you could even do gold. I did the silver. But I'm really interested in this gray. Like, I'm
It's kind
really.
of a blue gray.
It's
That's
a
real
blue
pretty.
gray.
Yeah, that's pretty.
So, but just the way the little dash is, like, perfect for hair.
yeah.
Perfect
That-
for
And that even be pretty
Santa
for
Claus's beard or hair or something.
binding.
Yeah, well, this would be cute in
I
binding.
really would.
Yeah, definitely good in
And
binding.
so, I love this. And
It's so cute.
I watched a video because I had to learn all about towels because I never did it before. And someone it was a Christmas panel that had, do you guys remember this panel?
Yeah.
It's Corey Dantini, and it has all these little faces. Well, they had Christmas creatures that were this little, and they cut around like a quarter of an inch and slapped it on the tea towel where the spider is and stitched it down
It
with
said
raw
poof.
applique. And oh my goodness, it was so fast, it was so easy. I'm gonna go take this home and make it because that's like presents. Christmas presents.
Done.
Look how fast that would be. I kind of
Done.
regret not doing it, but I'll do it. But I had so much fun.
So
And it
did
was-
you use Steam a Seam on the back of yours too?
I did. I used Seam for my applique because I love Seam
I
because
know.
especially with the eyes, I had to
Layer.
stack on top of each other and so it wouldn't move and I could get it right because
And you wanted them to be looking in the right direction.
the eyes, yeah, I struggled with a lot because the pattern I did change, this is probably the only thing I changed, was their eye was a big and a little bit smaller one to kind of be like crazy or
Crazy
funky.
eyes. Crazy eyes.
And I wanted my spider cute, so I kind of made the same eye. I just
Same
traced
googly
the
eyes.
same googly eyes. And I tried to make it googly. I actually fused, because white over black is shadowing, so I made sure I interfaced it. And I interfaced it with a
Charli.
fleece to make it puffy. But then when I sat and stitched it down, it kind of squished. So I don't know. I'm still like, this is the first time I stitched down applique. I don't know if you guys know much about me, but this is the first time I did the set and
Now
stitch.
tell them why you did the pocket.
I did the pocket because OESD is doing that event with hoops with pockets. I don't know if you guys seen it yet. And they use that pocket to put sewing notions in after your project. And I was like, pockets are so great. Pockets are like your third hand. So do you guys, I do this a lot, like, or grilling, I'll stick it outside of my apron. And I'm just like, I could put things in here. You could have it, or this side you could have hanging on your oven door, and you could put your spatula or something cute
Hot
in
pad.
here. A hot pad, a decoration, a spider, something. I'm just like,
Not a real spider.
why not a pocket? So, and I had extra because I used the fat quarter of this. And so, I don't know if you guys ever stitched on tea towels before.
I have not, so I'm very interested in hearing about this.
This, if you look it up, you can see the holes between the fabric.
Where the needle goes
weave
in.
is looser.
Oh, you're talking
No,
about the weave.
just the weave.
The weave.
Yeah,
Right.
so it's 100% cotton, and it is a looser weave by Natural, being a tea towel. And so I was stitching in front of a window, and when I did the zigzag for my hairy legs, I was looking up to see how the zigzag, I liked it on my one leg. And I didn't even look at the stitch because my eye immediately went to the light of holes. And I was like, oh my goodness, is that, I've never noticed that before. And I was looking and the holes were huge to me because I immediately saw it. And so I did some research and they actually say, and I used an 80 size needle. I was like, beginner,
Middle of the
me,
line.
like, I'm like 80, universal 80, you know, I'll use different brands like top stitch or embroidery, but 80, I'm like, 80's 80. I don't do anything crazy. Well, I switched to a 75 and I stitched the leg and I held it up to the light. I could see a little bit holes, but there would be whole sections where I could barely see any light through where the stitching was. And I was like, oh my goodness.
What a difference.
Needles matter. Needle size matters. It's almost like best press. You don't
Yeah.
realize it matters until you use it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh my goodness, now I will pay attention to needle size and see how it affects the project because it actually, because of that, it changed how much top thread was showing in my back. So it's the needle, the fabric, and your thread, it creates the tension. So you can change your tension without touching the tension, just changing the needle. And so it actually fixed the tension issue I was having by moving to a smaller needle, and I didn't have to touch tension because that's what was made for this fabric. So I also had to look up because I just thought it was more durable, like maybe like a canvas or something or anything. I was like, do I have to interface this when I satin stitch? The answer is yes. Absolutely. Like everything
Support
says
your stitches.
yes, especially satin stitch, especially with the curves. So I created a bundle for you guys. It's called I forgot the name.
You want me to look it up?
Getting ready to stitch on your towel. And it includes 2 things, because that's all you need. You need size 75 needle. Embroidery is recommended. And this is for applique. You can use it for embroidery. And ultra clean and tear.
I love this stuff.
And this stuff is amazing. This stuff, the bundle is only $17.98 because this is a smaller like sampler pack of ultra clean and tear. It's 12 inches
It's
by
perfect
5
for these
yards.
smaller
So it's
projects.
perfect for this was only 12 inches. So it's perfect for that, and you can do it manageable. Ultra clean and tear is a tear away, wash away, which means it has long and short fibers. And so when you are pulling, when you're securing your stitches and you're pulling, and the stuff that tears, that's your long fibers. And you're like, wait, there's a little fuzzy stuff hold behind in the stitches. How am I going to get that out? Well, that's your short fibers. The short fibers are meant to stay in there and tear away, so it doesn't bother your stitches at all. It doesn't cause pulling or anything.
Yeah.
And when you wash it away, those small fibers are wash away. Isn't that like the science behind OESD is
Your
crazy?
stabilizers,
and
And the
I
stabilizers
use that
and
too.
everything. So this is your
Bundle.
bundle starter
like
packet.
that.
All you need to
And a
embroider or applique after you find your perfect towel.
And it's called the Get Ready to Stitch on Your Towel
Get ready
bundle.
to stitch on your towel.
I love it.
And we have towels. I don't know if anyone's ever looked at our tea towels.
We have a bunch of
But
pretty colors.
well, first I did purple because
love
love the
that.
purple for Halloween. But I kind of regret not doing black or gray like the fabric, and then I could have did a pink or orange spider like the fabric shows. But like, look at all these Halloween. I love green.
That green would have been darling for that.
Yes, I know the
spider.
green. So we have a whole bunch of tea towels to choose from, and
like
you
it.
don't need to embroider.
No, you don't.
Just find a panel.
So.
It's awesome. I'm
Jo-
addicted.
Joe says that we better watch out. OESD is going to steal you as a rep. Or one of their educators.
I'm still learning. Guys, I just learned different needle sizes today.
Hey, to learn something every day is beautiful.
I had so much fun with this
Yeah.
project. Did you, Miss Jessie?
I did. I had a lot
I
of
love
fun too.
yours.
I did the kitty cat one, the big long one here.
It does say
Yeah, it says eek. And so I chose that one there. I really wanted to be bright with a lot more colors. So I did mine with the purples, the oranges, and the purples, oranges, purples, and greens, and blacks.
Oh,
So
nice.
Cute.
I got a whole bunch of different colors in this one.
Make sure you can see
Can you
it.
see?
Yes.
Okay.
Close. And you can fold it in half because it's the same on the other side.
Yeah, it's very similar on both sides, so that was good. And I also did a satin stitch around my outside edges, and I used embroidery thread. So even though we're not technically embroidering, there's no reason why you can't use embroidery thread for doing decorative stitches, satin stitches, and I just think it looks really pretty. It kind of had a little shine to it. I wanted you to notice what I did here on my plaid where my eek is. I actually used a variegated thread, and I thought it turned out really cute. A nice accent to that, I think.
Dodie wants to know if you can make this longer.
Sure could.
Would
Just
you have blocks?
add another square. Why not?
Yeah, they're all the same size, aren't they?
Uh-huh. So one of the things I wanted to do too is I wanted to use some of the glow in the dark thread. So I had some Metler glow in the dark thread, and I put it around the eyes so that the eyes would really pop too. And then when I was stitching it afterwards, when I was tearing off the stitch and tear, I hit it with the iron and it melted. Yeah, so didn't know it was going to melt. So I had to go back and stitch over it. So next time I go to iron it, I'm going to be real careful. Or I should have been smart, used a pressing cloth, but I didn't. So I'll just be more careful when I do that. But one of the things about this fabric that I think is really cute too is that these glow in the dark. So the kitty cats and my webs glow in the dark.
That's so fun. Oh, I forgot that.
So then I also, from last week, remember I told you guys I like to fussy cut. So on my cornerstones, I made sure that each one of my cornerstones had a web in the center. And once again, remember I said I use my templates over and over and over again. And so I just cut them out, and then I always put a hashtag. Well, this also had to do a whole lot of half square triangles. And I wanted to make sure that I had a whole cat in each one of my half square triangles. So in these, I think it was 4-inch squares, I drew a diagonal. And so when I was placing them, I made sure that when I cut it on the diagonal, I had a cat in each one of those triangles
You got
too.
all the perfect little cats.
Yeah. And so like I said, I just use these over and over and over again every time that I'm fussy cutting. I also use the clean and tear stabilizer. Anytime I'm doing a satin stitch, I really want to make sure that my stitches are stabilized so I prevent the tunneling, and that's really important, so make sure you do that. I like using the satin stitch, and then I always move my needle over so that I make sure it's a perfect edge when I'm sewing. And I use the 34 once again this time too, and I just kept that center red edge right there, and so I moved my needle over so that my center edge was right where it needed to be, and I didn't have to really worry about it.
I struggled with that as my first time doing satin stitch.
Okay. And yeah, and you will, unless you have a guide, something to guide it with, and I just happen to use my 34.
So you have your red line, and then here's your line of edge and then where does your needle go?
So I wanted to make sure that anytime you're stitching on here, and this is my fabric, I want my needle to be right along this edge here and then go inside. So if I'm lining up my red in the center on my 34, I'm going to make sure that my needle is on this side on the red, and then it's going to bump over into the other side.
So you clip it one side to the left to be on
I
the
actually
left side
did
of
several.
Oh, several,
Yeah.
yeah. Just a few
Yeah,
over.
so I could scoot it over and line it up just right. So I was real careful about that.
Yeah.
One of the secrets about doing satin stitch around the outside edge is that you want to make sure that you don't end up with gaps.
Yes.
You don't want V's, you don't want like
I had
blank
a lot
spaces.
of V's.
And so anytime you're doing it, I try to teach this during my new owner classes too, is when you've got an outside curve, you're always going to pivot when your needle's on the outside of your edge. If you're doing an inside curve, like on the inside of a crescent moon, you want to make sure that your needle's on the inside of your fabric when you do your pivoting. Well, then you got these corners, and you might have an inside corner or an outside corner. So if you've got an inside corner, so if this is your fabric here, this white part here is your fabric, and you're doing you're going to actually stitch beyond, I don't know if you can see this, but you're going to stitch, stitch, stitch beyond, and you're going to pivot when your needle is all the way out here, and then when you start stitching again, you're going to pick it up. So you don't have a gap here, because otherwise if you pivot when your needle's on the outside edge, you're going to have a gap right there, and it's not going to be filled up, and I don't like that, so I always make sure that I stitch a little bit beyond it and then start stitching back down again. If you've got an outside curve, which is probably your most frequently used one, you're going to be stitching along here, and when you get to the very point, that's where you're going to turn your fabric and start stitching again. And then you've got, even though this is doubled up right here, it looks a lot better than if you hadn't. So just go ahead and stitch all the way down and pivot when you get to the end of the corner, and things look so much better. it gives it more filled in, a healthier
Right
look, I think.
square.
More square, exactly. Even if you're on a diagonal, maybe a more open or even closed, you're still going to stitch either beyond it or just to fill it in so that you can make sure everything's no gaps. That's my anxious thing. I don't like gaps.
Right over from that.
I talked about, so on this one here, sorry guys, I made some notes. So for the little kitty cat right here, according to the directions, I was supposed to lay this so that it was right on the edge, the horizon. I'm going to call that horizon. And I don't know about you guys, but sometimes it might go on crooked or I might not sew directly on the edge. And I wanted to make sure that I didn't have a little bit of orange peeking out from underneath. So what I did on this one is I made my orange a little bit bigger, my background, whatever my background is going to be, I make it a little bit bigger. I always draw the horizon line, so I drew the line along the bottom so I know that's my bottom line at the 1/4 inch. When I cut out my black face and my black paws, I actually added a 1/4 inch. And so I made it a little bit longer because when I went to sew this seam right here, I knew I was going to for sure grab my applique and I didn't have to worry about any orange peeking out. And so then it's a complete solid line right there at the bottom.
That. The popsicle.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
the first time I've ever done that. And
Right.
I love it. I love that it's enclosed and it's neater and you don't have to worry about
Right,
side
and you don't
stitching.
have to worry about any fringe or any peekaboos.
Yes.
And so the other thing I did that was a little bit different is I wanted slits for my pupils instead of just circles.
Cat eyes.
Yeah, I wanted it to look more like a cat. I know it's whimsical still, but so I did 2 different ones. I did one cat eye looking like this, and then I kind of made a different expression, and I made my other cat eye look like that. So they have 2 different expressions, depends on which side of the table that you're sitting on. Okay, that's it. That's all I did differently, or that's all my tips for you guys today.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
I thought it turned out really cute.
I love that there's a block of applique and a block of piecing.
Yeah.
I love patterns that combine them.
I did too. I really liked it. And so I didn't follow the fabric requirements that are here on the back. But if you come into the store, I'll have them written. I'll write it nicer. I'll write it down what I used and what I needed to purchase so that y'all can do the same thing. Or choose a different color. Maybe you like my way better than totally up to you guys. No way is wrong. But just to give you an idea.
Yeah,
of what
because
to
they
purchase.
based this pattern on a line that we just got, I believe, for the Holiday Essentials Halloween from Moda.
And I like the glow in the dark one.
Yeah, so, but we like to have our fun here.
Yeah,
and
whatever
get-
fabric speaks to you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I actually like using both solids and prints. To me, it gives a place for my eye to rest, so to
Yeah.
speak, so that some of the solids, so that my prints don't get lost. And that's why I like combining both solids and prints together, so that, I think it's,
We didn't
For
talk
me, it's
about your
better.
awesome plaid.
what about?
It's
Look at it.
so,
It's on the
so
bias.
simple.
Right?
And
on
it's
the
almost
bias.
out, y'all.
Yeah,
It's
we're
almost out.
on this.
It's so cute. I love the green and purple and orange combinations.
I know, this was actually what started me on what colors to choose.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah. So I started with this, and then I was able to match all these other
But
pretty
yeah, she
colors
didn't
with
have to
it.
fussy cut that, guys. She
I
just
know.
straight cut,
So
and it was
for my
already
peeps-
printed on the bias.
Yeah. Isn't that cute?
And the border.
I
It's so
just
cute.
love it. I just think it turned out
Did we
darling.
look and see, does Katie have it?
Yes, I looked and they sold it.
They sold out too. Oh.
Oh, sorry. Hey,
They
when
have some of
I
this
first
left.
bought this, when I first bought it, we had lots.
So this glows in the dark.
Glows in the dark.
Yeah, we have so much glow in the dark fabric
Oh,
this
we
year.
have
It's
great
awesome.
glow in the dark fabric.
We even got
And this
Christmas
one-
glow in the dark. Those snowflakes glow in the
Yes.
dark.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, glow in the dark gnomes.
Yeah,
Gnomes?
gnomes.
Gnomes.
Yes.
Okay, I can't wait.
This doesn't glow in the dark, right? right?
No,
This
glow
was
in the
just
dark.
perfect
It was
for
just-
the whiskers.
It was perfect because all the tails were curly. I
Yes.
mean, it just kind of went.
I've never seen that bolt in my whole life. I have no idea.
We've had it for a long time. It was perfect.
And then this is the art gallery.
Art gallery with those cute little spiders.
I love those
Look at that.
colors. Those are cute spiders.
And
They are
I
cute.
was a slacker. I didn't grab my bolts. So there's some candy corn.
Do you guys like candy corn?
No.
I eat candy
I
corn.
love candy corn.
I don't.
It
I
gives
can't
me
eat
a
a lot.
headache.
I can't eat a lot of it, but I love it.
There's the zippers.
I don't like the black ones. I like the traditional.
And my eyeballs.
Black ones? Oh, chocolate ones.
I
They're
don't know.
supposed to be
Sometimes they
chocolate.
have a black. Is that what
Like
they're supposed to be?
licorice?
I think
Maybe
so.
black licorice.
Oh, and then I did the Allison glass. This is my pumpkin. And then the staff pulled some random oranges out of the drawer for me. And I was thinking, how much fun would it be to do strips, piece them all together, and then cut my
Uh-huh.
pumpkin out?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
So
love
I'm-
piecing things together and then cutting them.
Yeah, I might try that.
That'd be
I like
fun.
that idea.
These projects were so fast.
This was a nice
Well,
pattern
you
because
you
so
had a
many
big
projects.
one, but mine took
Yeah.
2 hours. 1 hour to like cut and pick everything out, and then 1 hour to stitch it down.
Well, if I hadn't had company coming, I would have gone ahead and quilted it, but I was like, no, no. At least I got it all pieced.
I got
I got
a
it
pumpkin with stuff on it.
I actually completed this week.
I know, you were the completer. Yay, Charlie.
Once in a lifetime. Just
Hey.
kidding. Okay, so all of the fabric that we used for our projects,
TT treat.
TT treats.
Yes.
So 3 T's. We
Uh-huh.
love our T's here.
TT treat.
And towels and the bundle and steam a seam.
And the pattern.
The scissors, y'all.
The
The scissors.
The
Scissors,
pattern, most
yeah.
important, is all 15% off.
What about the
1/5.
variegated thread?
Variegated thread is on there too.
Okay.
Vince said you
Yes.
could make a disco kilt with that fabric.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, and under black light, it looks so cool. So,
Bonnie says to
these are
eat
fun.
candy corn and peanuts.
At the same time.
At the
Oh,
same time
yeah.
as Bonnie?
The same
Yeah, it's
time?
like a Halloween. What do they call those?
I've never heard of it. This is the
You
first
know, like when they
time.
put
A payday.
pretzels and peanuts and
A
all kinds
payday
of stuff.
She says
Candy
it's like
bar.
a payday candy bar.
Ooh,
I can't eat the candy corn.
I love
I
candy
love
corn.
candy corn. I know people
And-
call me gross,
okay,
but
I take the candy
I love
corn and I eat first the white, and then I eat the
I
orange.
love eating it by
And then
layers.
I
Miss
eat it by
Donna used to
layers.
bring it. I used to tease her because I'm like, what?
Yes.
No.
Candy corn.
Yes.
We'll have to
Okay.
bring some next week. Okay, so that's it for
right.
Summer of Screams Part 2.
Summer screens too.
Thanks for joining.
And stay tuned. I'm gonna be. I need to go through and edit some more of my viral threads that I filmed like 3 weeks ago,
Okay,
More
for-
viral.
great.
and then more free projects. I found some really good ones to post. So as soon as I can get out of PowerPoint, then yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
then yes.
Yay! Yay! All right, guys.
Oh, my water.
Yeah. Happy sewing.
Happy sewing. How about old-fashioned popcorn balls?
I've never had those
I
either.
love popcorn balls. I like those too. Good idea.
Maybe we
Now
should
I
just
want to
bring
make
food
them.
next week instead
That
of
would be
drinks.
fun. Do you like a
Oh, those
a what's
candy corn
cooking?
Jellos.
What's cooking?
It's cooking.
Jello shots. I don't know.
No.
Jello.
Only if we're spending the night.
Okay, that's true.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye, guys. I was looking over here. To
I know
turn
I
it off.
can't turn it off.